Welcome back to the morning show. We have the spiciest story today. Contractor wins $42,000. Later, he loses it all. Here's the backstory. In 2004, homeowner Tammy and Dorothy hired James Naylor to replace the foundation under their Vermont home. After construction, homeowners refused the final payment, citing the bad workmanship. Naylor filed $25,000 mechanics lien, again lien today, and sued for breach of contract and penalties under the Vermont's Prompt Payment Act. Love that act. Again, typical dispute, and now he's filing a lien. Accusation and evidence was that said Naylor left a gap between the wooden planks of lintel beneath their deck, caused a loss of power in their garage, and left bent aluminum flashing dangerously exposed. They also accused him of violating the contract by leaving foundation insulation visible above ground level. Their expert witness slammed Naylor's workmanship, but the judge called the expert's testimony unreliable, noting he'd never done this kind of work himself. The judge also pointed out that homeowners had received bids from other contractors who would have done more work but rejected those offers because Naylor agreed to do less work but charged them less for it. Typical story. Contractor side. Naylor said that the homeowners failed to complete their own required task laid out in the contract, like dismantling the deck, so he did unpaid extra work. The homeowners changed the design mid-project, but Naylor didn't charge them extra for delays. The court found Naylor's did everything included in the contract in a workmanlike manner. The outcome is lesson for everyone. At first, it looked like Naylor won the case. He was awarded over $42,000, including interest, penalties, and more than $15,000 in attorney fees. Next, the homeowner filed an appeal and filed for bankruptcy. Then came Naylor's big mistake. With the ongoing legal drama, he didn't take action to collect $42,000 right away. He missed Vermont's 5 months deadline to record his judgment, causing his lien to expire completely. Wow. Naylor argued the homeowners delayed the process and he should still be allowed to collect. The court shut this down, saying equity helps the vigilant but not the dormant, meaning Naylor's own inaction doomed his claim. What a sad story. It started really, really well, but then he did not know all the process, and it's one of those stories where you celebrate your victory too early. What do you think, Adam?
I mean, it's a crazy long timeline, and I can see both sides. Like, he wins the court, it's appealed, the decision is being appealed, not the time frame. And but like, we got to think of how long this goes over. Like, from April 2004 all the way through to 2006 February. So
2 years.
he had the time, like, you know what I mean? Like, he had to, like, just file something. But man, it's easy to get lost in a business with all the stuff you're doing to just not catch something like that. And where's his legal representation in all this? Like, you know, like I would think that comes under some kind of legal representation saying, hey, you still have to do this.
Yep. And that's the thing about education of our contractors. So they know a few things about lien, but they never know. It surprised me how many contractors have no idea what the liens are, or where do I go to file it? You know, how does it work? What's our lien rights? You know, it's a quick Google search. You can learn everything about liens within 1-2 hours. But the problem is contractors would not prioritize 1 or 2 hours to learn about something that can, save them $42,000 in this case, but they will spend a lot of times on, change orders and chasing bids and, typical contractor activity. And we think that nobody pays us for this kind of stuff. And I would argue that this is the kind of stuff that the most important for the business. This is exactly how we get paid. You can't just forgive bad debt. You have to collect it. But contractors spend most of their time, I would say 80% of their time, chasing money, chasing payments, doing everything for the next paycheck. And on the back end, we don't do enough to follow up, to complete stuff. And sometimes we're losing.
Well, and in the end, the homeowners filed bankruptcy.
That's very sad. Do you think they file bankruptcy not to pay this contractor to get away with it?
Well, they had $184,000 mortgage, and 20K was escrowed for Naylor. And then Naylor won the judgment. So I think that they were already in a
Upside
financial
down.
bind when this whole thing started.
And if you're in that financial mess originally, you should not be hiring contractors, not for the projects like this. I mean, come on. Like if you're replacing phone, I mean, maybe it was just absolute extreme
They
for them.
probably couldn't get sell the house because of the foundation issue.
Yeah, so they were just upside down, and that's like one.
Everybody got screwed in this deal. They bought a bad house
So
or something.
desperate people do desperate things, and unfortunately, hurt people, broke people do business with the broke people.
That's
So
true.
sad. Rory, what do you think? You've been in this type of work all your life. Have you ever dealt with something like this?
Yeah, I have stuff similar, but you said something right there. I thought it was so important. You tracked onto yourself. Broke people do broke people do, and that's so true. Um, the like here, what I've experienced where you can actually bond around the lien. You can put a lien on, and you can buy a bond and remove the lien, sell a property, assume, but the bond company now holds liable the party, to resolve it. Then if that person can sue the other person out of business or whatever, it can be resolved. But there's so many little idiosyncrasies. I think it was what is that author, Rich Dad Poor Dad,
Robert Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki. I think he said you would have to hire somebody full time to review just the laws that are being changed, amended, or evolving, let alone learn and know the laws that exist. I don't know how true that was. I think it was like book 2, the cash flow quadrant, I believe. But now we have ChatGPT, artificial intelligence that it should be able to keep up or pace knowledge that we should be able to access. But it's I always remember I actually went to theology school when I was really young. I was actually an associate pastor for what, believe it or not. But there was this thing called the second thermodynamic law of entropy, which said that things go from order to disorder by nature. It was kind of disproving evolution as a tadpole jumps out of a pond, becomes a rabbit and a monkey and a human, right? Because cells, they mature, they die, and things, so if someone goes, hey, we're way ahead of schedule, everything's looking great, man, this is perfect. It's usually day 1 or 2. You have no idea what's already gone wrong. If it's going that smooth, what you can guarantee is the second thermodynamic law of entropy. Something is going to go wrong. Things go from order to disorder, and our job is to understand these principles of the universe and how it works, and be ready because things are happening you don't even know they are. So it's
That's a really insightful thing. I love the way you put that. That's a heck of a way to kind of close out a show.
I agree. I want to close out the show personally on this note. I absolutely love American court system. I love your judges. I'm absolutely love. I've been in court probably like 10 times, never lost a case. And as I'm reading all of these, like in where I come from in my country, we make there are videos, documentaries about judges who've never ever did a verdict that was not asked for. So think about we have judges in the country that 1,000 conviction verdicts, right? Like never ever they say, you're innocent. Like every single person who went in front of the judge got a verdict that you're guilty. Like we have judges who've been judging for 20 years and then right. And if you go to countries like North Korea, maybe China, maybe like Russia, you have like pretty much prosecution ask for it, they're gonna get it, right? Here though, as I'm reading all of, even today, like yet another, 4 cases, it's unpredictable. You never know. Judges like, nope, you're not expert. Oh yeah, you owe him this, but plus interest. But you also like, I found American court system is the most reasonable, and judges like have the most character. They're like psychologists. They read right through you. They look at you as like, you're a scumbag. You're just a con artist. I'm not gonna give you this. But they also see it at the homeowners. They see it at the contractors. Like, you never know. It's like, we can't say that contractors are bad people or insurance companies are good, right? Everybody can lose in American court. Like, corporation can lose, homeowner can lose, contractor can lose. It's all in the details and the evidence and the paperwork. And even today, in these 4 stories, they were not predictable. You did not know, and I absolutely love it. So just July 4th is coming. Happy July 4th to the greatest country on the planet. Kudos to all the judges who are fair to all the parties. And I'll see you guys next week on Home Morning Brew with the homeowners. Thank you for being with us today.
Don't gamble with your money, folks, especially when it comes to your home. Hiring the wrong contractor is like playing poker with your life savings. One bad hand, and poof, your money's gone and your roof's still leaking. That's why I recommend Directorii.com. It's a free site that connects you with vetted, background-checked, financially solid contractors, real pros. And when you book through Directorii, your job is backed by a $20,000 guarantee. This isn't a roll of the dice, it's a smart move. Go to Directorii.com, that's Directorii with 2 I's, and hire with confidence.